Time, I'll yield 3 minutes to the gentleman from Pennsylvania.
Without objection, the chair recognizes the gentleman from Georgia, and who yields to the gentleman in Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise today in strong support of legislation introduced by myself and Representative Karen Bass to reauthorize the Violence Against Women Act. VAWA programs have provided educational tools and helped survivors and their families get the resources they need to protect themselves and to begin the healing process. This should not be a partisan issue. I'd like to thank Congresswoman Bass for her leadership. She's a valued partner in this fight, and I'm grateful that we can make this bill bipartisan. Across our country, Madam Speaker, millions of women and children have been saved by the programs funded through VAWA. Shelters, counseling, training, and law enforcement are all key parts of a national strategy to end domestic violence, sexual assault, dating violence, and stalking. In the district I represent, in Bucks and Montgomery counties in Pennsylvania and in all of our districts, VAWA programs are saving lives. A Women's Place in Bucks County, Pennsylvania relies on VAWA funding to save lives. Unlike some larger women's organizations, their emergency housing only has room for 7 families. Nonetheless, their shelter saved 150 women and children who are in imminent danger, often fleeing for their lives. Another Bucks County organization, Network of Victims Assistance, or NOVA, has helped more than 3,600 victims of sexual assault, human trafficking, stalking, and other serious crimes. NOVA's work to expand prevention programs, which is essential to preventing violence, is supported by VAWA. This bill also includes my Combat Online Predators Act, which will increase penalties for cyberstalking against children. My constituent Madison Zezo was cyberstalked by then 51-year-old predator who was only sentenced to probation and counseling. 3 years later, he made contact with Madison again and created a web of social media accounts to cyberstalk her. He was later sentenced to between 18 months and 7 years in prison. From domestic violence to sexual assault to cyberstalking, we must do more to prevent violence, and when it does happen, to support victims and bring perpetrators to justice. Madam Speaker, the Violence Against Women Act will help us do all these things, and I urge my colleagues, both Democrat and Republican alike, to support this legislation, which will save lives in all of our communities. Madam Speaker, I yield back.